Yeah, really excited for our group. Huge win on the road, tough place to play, place that hasn't been kind to us the last few years. We talked to our players about it being a big game. Big games are big games for a reason. Both teams are good. They're going to make plays. So it's about, us responding, being able to answer their runs. But for us to get this, this type of win, we were unproven coming into the game, which was well documented. And we had to overcome a lot of adversity. We have a veteran group that I thought showed their veteran prowess in key points of this game when other teams could have rolled over. I thought we showed great resolve. It's trust. We have an incredible senior class on and off the field, and could not be happier for this crew.
Coach, it was a back and forth affair tonight. You guys went on a 3-0 run in the third quarter. Syracuse also went on a 3-0 run. Then the same thing in the fourth quarter, where they went on a 3-0 run, and you guys responded with a 3-0 run of your own. What's it like, sort of going back and forth especially against a top 5 team on the road?
I think we're a top 5 team, so I'll start there. So I trust my players. Like they trust me. So, and we showed that. Like I could say whatever I want, but proof is in the pudding, right? So we showed characteristics of a top team. And to be able to answer, they're a great team, super well coached, right? They do a hell of a job recruiting, obviously. Got my daughter, ultimately for us, it was. We have a senior group, and when you have a senior group, you put a lot of. It's a player-driven model that we have, So, and we told them coming in, like they're going to make plays. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be. And you got to be able to answer a punch with a punch. You got to answer, and listen, I think we were probably a little bit on the short end of the whistle tonight, but that happens, right? So we have to do a better job of controlling and adapting to how the game's being officiated. That clearly starts with the head coach. So I could do a better job having my players in those spots. But, I love, we have a great group. These kids have been with me. We have so many fifth-year kids that came back for one more shot at this thing. And, I told them you have a chance to write your own ending. Here's the pen. Let's go get it. So, I think it started today. It was good vibes all day. We came in for a walkthrough. We had Kylie O'Miller talk to our team pregame, who's, one of the best players to ever wear any uniform, really. So, for us, that she fired our squad up before we went out for warm-ups. And we had a different look in our eyes today. So, I think it's a tremendous win on the road against an incredible team that has star power everywhere. So I think, I think we felt a little shorted with the 11th and 12th ranking. We kept winning games and moving further back in the poll, but polls are on paper and they don't really mean anything. So it's all about RPI and winning big games, and we won one tonight.
Ellie had a big draw control in that overtime period to start it, and then finished it with the goal. Just kind of take me through that period in overtime, how you finished the game for your team.
I give all props to Charlotte Verhulst. I think that she is one of the best, if not the best, draw taker in the NCAA right now. I have so much trust in her, so she tells me what to do. I just try and do it the best I can. And on the goal, we have such smart players like Morgan Mitchell. And obviously, Hart attacked in the first half and the second half, and she had how many? I don't even know how many. She was incredible. Finney, the pressure was kind of more towards them, so then it opened up for me, but it could have been anyone, honestly.
That was a special play. For her to chase down one of their better players, to take the ball from her, and then to draw a foul on that play, and then for our offense, they played a zone, so you're not beating a zone with one player. I think Ellie was kind of saying that. It takes everybody, and Alex Finn isn't up here, but she had 5 assists. And you have to have a good quarterback. You have to have somebody who can facilitate. I got it, So, I think that at the end of the day, it comes down to being the sum of all parts as a good offense. But that was a special play. That was a season-defining play. We technically lost a draw. She chased it down, took it, drew a foul, got a man up, and then our 7 players on offense were able to get one there.
Coach, in the first half, really defensive. You sent a lot of double teams behind the net to Emma Ward. Was there something on film that you saw that you knew that would work?
She's one of the best passers in the country. So, I think at the end, you have to send players there. She's an awesome kid, first of all. She's a great player. Somebody I respect immensely. I know really well personally, just from her being a Long Island kid. And honestly, she comes and stands with me during the men's games when I'm here. So she's a great kid. We respect the heck out of her, and she's a great player. So last year she had 7 assists. So, I'm not the brightest guy in the world. I try to surround myself with good people, but, she was 7 assists. So we came into the game. Our defensive coordinator did a really good job of having a good game plan for her. And she's got to, she had to be accounted for at all times.
Coach, you called it a season-defining moment. What kind of momentum do you expect your team to take from that, that play and that win?
It's huge, right? I mean, that's a great resume builder, but if you lose your next game, you take away what you did here. So I think the veteran group knows that I'm probably not going to be a treat at our next practice. So there's probably not a lot they're going to do right, but that's just more to get them grounded. But a veteran group understands that we have to be able to, you got to follow up a win with a win, right? I think we won here a few years back and we ended up losing at Florida, and it kind of took away. It was the COVID year, so it really didn't matter anyway. But I think I trust our players. This is a mature group. If it was a younger group, I would say I'm really worried about how we're going to handle success. And, I think this is a group that will handle it properly.
Avery, your team defense tonight, I mean, Emily only made a few saves, but to go through all the adversity, maybe the whistle not going in your way,
You agree with me, huh, on that one? Okay.
I agree.
What do you think went into that performance defensively to stand through all the pressure and the opponent and to get it done?
I think I was talking to Ellie about this earlier. I practiced against better girls every single day. So today I came in with a lot of confidence, knowing that we were going to perform. We practiced a lot. We did everything. We prepared like we needed to, and I think we all really showed up today.
I think it was a mirror. Both teams are mirrors of each other. Like, there's so many similarities. Like, it really is. Like, there's so much overlap. Coach DeFelice was my assistant. I coached Kayla. Coach Pareca, who did an incredible job with the draw and running our offense, she coached here. So there's a lot of overlap. We legitimately are a mirror. We both play suffocating zone defenses. We both have super skilled offensive players. And it just came down to who was going to have the ball last. And luckily for us, it was us.
Ellie and Coach, you guys were losing the draw control battle at halftime, and then, also in the third quarter, Kate got off to a pretty hot start for Syracuse. What's it like sort of going up against her, and how did you guys adjust to, end up winning the draw, especially in overtime?
Honestly, it's all credit again to Sydney and Charlotte. I think we prepared, we were doing film. We know that we respect Kate, we respect the circle people on Syracuse, so we did a lot of film and we had a solid game plan, and it ended up just falling into our things. I don't know. It was weird.
My assistant, Coach Pareca, does a really, really thorough job with the draw, and they spend a lot of time together as a group. Kate, obviously, she's come back from her injury really well. She looks awesome, so kudos to her. I'm happy for her to be back and playing as well as she is, and she was a difference maker early. And you got two kids that have taken a lot of college draws, so just you're going to adapt, right? They're going to adjust, and then it becomes that you do this, you do that. Like even the last huddle before overtime, I'm listening. I have my head in the huddle, and I'm not really a draw guy. I'm more of like so I listen, just making sure that they're talking about if she does this, I do that. She does that, I do this. If the circle's set up like this, so there's so much of that going on in those situations, and I think you saw it come down to like they won it, right? So and then we chased her down and got it. So it was gutsy, even for them to come back and tie the game the way they did in the waning moments. Like it's a championship squad there. So they've been in the Final Four. It's just not. You're not going to come here and I told our defense after we went up by one, I was like, it's going to come down to us having to make a stop here. We're going to need one more. Because it's just the way the game is, and Coach Trainer does a great job and just got those kids dialed in, and they got to a good spot and buried one.
Coach, so obviously in the poll you guys weren't moving, but how do you think those 4 games kind of prepared you to win this game tonight?
You know what? I'm not sure. In hindsight, they really did. I mean, this was a war, right? So, I think maybe the Arizona State game where it was a 1-goal game at half, we kind of had to check ourselves. But I also think we got a feel for each other, right? We got comfortable, we got our feet under us. We were able for players to put up some numbers and feel good about their seasons going in, and maybe have a little bit of confidence coming in here, because I think ultimately, you better have confidence when you come in here because it's hard. The lighting, everything's just a little different. So, I think for us, we got to check our depth and just kind of get a better idea of our personnel. But, we kind of felt like, because we go on a run now, right? So we had going over, now we go to Syracuse, Johns Hopkins, and Charlotte as part of a doubleheader with the men. Your men's team, they're pretty good. And then we go Denver 2 days later. So it's going to be hard. So, but it's good to get. I told them coming in, we got to get 3 of our. We had 3 huge games in a row coming up, but you don't get 3 without 1, right? So you start with 1, and obviously a bear to win here.
Coach, you sort of talked a bit about being maybe somewhat disrespected by the polls. This is a win against a top 5 team away. What's your message to the polls? What are you expecting after this?
We're a mid-major. We're never going to get the love. I've been doing this a long time. So, and that's why I have no problem speaking out about it, because I know it's not going to change. So it's not like I'm going to piss somebody off. So, it's too late for that. So, I think for us, it's about, we're always like, that's who we are. That's our DNA of our program. We don't have, these kids all came to trust in our program and us as coaches, and they came here and with a purpose. Maybe kids that flew a little under the recruiting circle, and they came here, they wanted to win. They wanted, and they believe in each other, and and I told them the polls are right until you prove them wrong, right? Like, you're not putting us at 12 next week, right? And so, depending on what happens, right? We have a huge game on Saturday, but you gotta be in control of your situation, RPI stuff, and the selection committee, all that kind of stuff. Top 5 win on the road, that has a lot of pull, with the committee.
I got one. Kailyn, how are you putting yourself in a position to score tonight?
I have to, obviously, they're all pressuring Ellie and probably going to her more, and even Morgan Mitchell, because last year she had 7 goals against this team, so they're probably going out to her more and just locking her off. So I was able to get open on the cut, and obviously having Alex Finn as a great feeder now, everyone was just helping out, stepping in teams, and really just taking apart their defense.
Hart she did 5 goals, and I thought she played a really smart, clean game, where she was, obviously she's a kid's an All-American. So, she came in and she had 5 goals and an assist. Finn had 1 goal and 5 assists. Good balance across the lineup. I think those are the things you got to do. We had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of our 13 goals assisted. And, that's something you got to do when you're playing against zones. And, I think and they had 6 of their 12. So they were about 50%. And we were, obviously a little bit, we were, had more goals with assists. So I think at the end of the day, you got to play a team game to beat a team like that.
Last one from. Just really quickly, Coach, you mentioned this is primarily a senior team. How does a win like this kind of inspire the next generation of sniper lacrosse?
Well, I think the locker room is live right now. I'll tell you that part. And I honestly, and I probably had over 100 text messages already from a lot of Long Island high school coaches and our recruits, and it's exciting, for us to come here and to win on the road in this kind of place is awesome, and I think it's huge, and, I think it's something that we talk about, having those season-defining wins, and, we to come here and to do that for our group is, I think, their first year.
My first year.
Kailyn Hart sat at the same dais. Her first college goal was a behind-the-back goal, and Coach Gate was the coach there at that time, and we won on the road, and then our season was canceled a week or 2 later. So this is one that we're going to hope the season doesn't get canceled after this, and we're going to enjoy the hell out of this. This ride sucks. I'll be honest with you. I came up and back Saturday to watch my boys play, and you guys, whoever thinks pressure is getting to him, you're crazy, because that kid was born for it. He was born for it. Look at the numbers.
What up to?
The numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. Leading the country in points, but hey, it's my guy. I'm going to protect him. So you come at him, you come at me.
Yep. And me.
So strap up, and about 45 other women in the locker room.
I'll step in there too.
Yep. All right, but all kidding aside, this is Yankee Stadium in our sport. So to come here and get a W is good. And we're big Yankee fans, so.
Thank you.